Hello, everyone. This is episode number 2 of the Mortgage Theory podcast. Today's guest is Joe Gutierrez, your favorite realtor. Joe, welcome.
Thank you so much for inviting me. So happy to be here, and yeah, this is great what you're doing.
I have a couple of questions that I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
I'm only interviewing the best realtors I know, and I think these are really good questions for you. The number one question is, what would you say is the biggest challenge you faced in the past year?
The past year, oh man, I would definitely say the interest rates.
Hmm.
That was one of the things that stopped some of my clients because now they didn't qualify, or now they qualify for less. Even though you still have, the buy downs and all that kind of stuff, seller credits. It was like a big, I guess, stop for a lot of people. So
Yeah.
that was definitely, I would say, my biggest challenge.
The biggest challenge about rates, yeah. I think it's the same thing with loan officers. We see a lot of people talking about the rates, but you need to consider other things. Like we said before with business owners, all the ability that you have as a business owner to write off the interest that you pay or
Hmm.
the depreciation on the property. So those are things that you have to consider. If you're paying a higher rate, that means you're getting a bigger write-off for your taxes if you're a business owner. So that's another thing that we need to let people know, that even though the rates are higher, there's still a lot of good things about that.
Yeah, but I feel like some people get scared because obviously the payment goes higher as well, the monthly. So they see more and they're like, oh, wow, I don't know if I can make that. And obviously it's something to that makes people think about it.
Yeah,
So
I think like in these times, the buyers, the actual people that end up buying, they have to be more educated. Because
mhm,
if you're not educated, then yes, you're gonna focus only on the rate.
correct.
You're only gonna be focused on the rate, what number is showing that, and you're not gonna focus on the payment, if you can afford the payment, if you're getting a good price for the property, if you're getting maybe credits from the seller. So it's all about education, I think, right now.
Hmm.
Whenever the rates drop, then everybody qualifies, and then everybody's buying, and then the prices go up, right?
Hmm.
So that's
Yeah,
something to keep in mind. And the question number 2 is, what would you say are your biggest strengths as a realtor?
I would say negotiation. I definitely go above and beyond for my clients. I do what I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's one of those things that you learn with time. There's a lot of times actually you just have to ask. Ask the listing agent, call the listing agent, things that you're like, oh yeah, yeah, I can just text them, is easier.
Yeah.
But no, call them on the phone, ask the questions that you need to ask. If they don't hear you, just be firm about it, ask again, and things will go, how you expect.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We're supposed to negotiate for our clients.
Well,
So
definitely.
I
And
would
I
say,
and I noticed that with you, I was telling you the other day that with the clients that we have, sometimes I notice that with other clients, the agent doesn't get any credits or very little credits, and most of the clients that I have with you, we always get credits for them.
mm,
So that's a good sign, you know.
yeah, definitely. I always tell my clients, I can't promise you anything. Let me see what I can get. Maybe some, maybe nothing, but at least I'll try. And then obviously, like I said, communication with the listing agent, negotiate as best as you can, and then that's how you get things
I
done.
mean, even on the loan side, everything gets easier if you get some credits, right? You
Yeah,
save money to the client because it's not only about getting the offer accepted, but like you said, you have to go above and beyond. So not only getting the offer accepted, but also maybe getting some credits, right?
yeah.
Negotiating. That's
Some
great.
people think that as soon as you open escrow, oh, that's it. It's all
Yeah.
done. No, we're just getting started. The whole process, and obviously things most of the time always change. So
Mm,
that's why if you have an agent that's good negotiating and obviously looking after their client's best interest,
yeah.
then things should be fine.
No, definitely. And we have question number 3 is, what would you say were your weaknesses when you started in this business?
Oh God, everything.
Yeah.
I kind of jump into this business knowing very little to nothing, but I'm one of those that I know that I can learn, I
Hmm.
can do well, and I can like the business. So I was in a different field for a while. I was looking into something else, possibly going back to school, and then I was selling my first property.
Okay.
So then after that, I'm like, well, why don't I just check it out, see if I like it, and I got licensed, and then I started doing it. So but then obviously it was a process. And once I had my license, I went full force. I quit my job and just decided to do real estate full time. So
That's how it has to be. You
Hmm.
have to be all in, especially in this business or in any business. You know.
Well, yeah, especially as a new agent, nobody knows you. The people that know you, they probably don't trust you because they think that you don't know much.
Yeah.
So you just have to prove yourself, show them that it can be done. If you don't know it, you can ask and learn and be a really good agent, be really good at what you do. So,
Yeah. I think that's a good thing and a bad thing we have when you're young, that maybe not a lot of people is gonna trust you,
hmm
but then you have the energy and the availability and the willingness to help and
hmm
to go above and beyond and work more than someone that has been in the business for 20, 30 years that they just don't care. They're about to retire, they don't have time, they barely want to do it just because they're already there. So there's not a lot of ambition in
there you
those
go.
agents, right?
Not only that, but I feel like with this business, it changes every so often. Now it's a different market than a couple of years back.
Yeah.
It changes often that you need someone who's willing to change, adapt to change, learn the new market, and obviously so they can do well.
Yeah.
Like right now, a lot of agents already left the market because they're used to one thing. Now that things change or the market has changed,
Hmm.
they don't know how to adapt. So they're pretty
And
much
what do
out.
you think about those changes in the market? Like, what do you think is gonna be in the next 6 months and a year?
6 months to a year. I definitely think the rates are going to drop. They're going to go lower, but obviously lower rates that creates more competition.
Hmm.
There's going to be more people are going to be able to buy. You're going to have all these investors also buying, possibly cash or with hard money. So that's going to create obviously more competition,
Right.
and it's going to cause the housing market to go up. More expensive houses, more competition, and it's just something that it happens when the rates go down. So
Yeah, it's definitely something that we need to keep in mind if you have the chance to qualify right now. If you have the chance or the opportunity to qualify right now, because it's not easy, then you should go for it now. That way, you don't have to overpay for the same house in 6 months or a year.
there we go. Like that client that we just closed, he was more stuck on the monthly payment. Education, like you said, we told him, in 6 months to later, we can refinance you if the rates are better. And he was so happy. He was like, yeah, let's do it. And at the end, now he has his house.
And we need to mention that we did a 1-0 buy down with him.
Hmm.
So his monthly payment is going to be way lower for the first year. That gives him time to, get comfortable with the payment and to expect to lower his monthly payment later. So,
And with someone like that, especially, well, with every client, it should be the same thing. But someone that, like him, that he asks a lot of questions, it's one of those things that you have to know your stuff. You have to explain
yeah,
and teach them, how it works and what they can do in like 6 months to a year after the purchase of the house.
yeah. But I'm glad. I'm glad he's happy with the house.
Beautiful house, by the way.
And question number 4 is, what's one thing you wish people knew about real estate?
About real estate, I would say just know that it's not impossible. Many times, I guess the lack of knowledge doesn't get us going to buy a house or get us interested. There's so much help out there that you can get a house for almost free. Not right now, they're offering the Calhafa 20% down.
Hmm.
So they give you up to 20% to buy a house. There's older down payment assistance programs. There's grants. There's all this help. So the whole 3.5%, it's even sometimes out of the questions. Sometimes you can get a house for free.
Yeah.
So I would definitely encourage people to ask questions, come to us, let us know what you're thinking. It might be a process of like 6 months to a year, something that you want to do. We can help you. You don't have to buy the house right now. Even if you can, just let us know. We'll create a game plan and then help you with it.
Yeah. And I think it's a great thing that we have multiple clients that we're getting them ready, right? They're maybe not ready to buy right now, but we're not selling cars. Obviously, a house is a huge purchase,
Mm-hmm.
so it's something that you need to be prepared for. And we try to educate them and get them ready for when the moment comes and they feel more comfortable with the payment, with the terms and everything, then we'll help them. But most of the time, when we educate them, then they start thinking, okay, yeah, maybe my payment's not that comfortable right now, but if I wait more, then my payment's going to be higher later. So I'd rather just start buying now, start building equity. And when we educate them, then they change their mind most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of trying to wait for a year, maybe they just wait for a couple of months to save a little bit more money or something, but they end up buying. So that's good.
Yeah, like one thing that I tell people is it might not be the right time for everyone to buy.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be the right time for everyone to sell, but it just depends. Every case is different. So the best way to find out is ask questions, sit with us, let's create a game plan and see if it is a good time for you to buy.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you're still renting, why wouldn't it be a good time to buy?
Yeah.
That money is never going to give you anything, no equity, no gains, no options, no nothing. So why not invest it on something that's going to be yours, that's creating money, equity for you?
Yeah. It's like if you keep complaining about the home prices, it's like complaining about the food prices. Like whether you like it or not, the prices are going to go up and they're
There we
going to
go.
continue going up. So you can choose to keep complaining or start doing something about it, right?
There we go. I agree.
And last but not least, number 5, what's your number one goal for this year?
Oh, God. For this year, definitely my goal is to help as many families as possible, but also get out of my comfort zone. I feel like I do a lot of business here in the Inland Empire because that's where I grew up. But I want to expand to like Orange County to help a lot of people in Orange County, in LA. I feel like it's something that's going to get me out there. Obviously, try to gain people's trust, do more business out there, and help more people. So expand out there to those areas.
You're focused on expansion right now.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I see that. You've been doing a lot of good marketing on social media, no?
And by that as well, like I want to keep on improving so I can provide better service to my clients, better education to my clients. So we're constantly, having all these meetings, seeing about the changes, learning about it from others, and you know getting better
And
at it.
also the connections, no? Because I see that you've been going to a lot of networking events with other real estate agents that's going to help you to whenever you're trying to get an offer accepted, then they already know you, they already like you, so they're going to go with you, not
Hmm.
with someone that they don't know. So that's good too.
Yeah, connections are great. They're important. So definitely.
Well, I think those are all the questions that I wanted to ask you, and I definitely want to say thank you, and hopefully I can have you back this year in this same podcast, and also I'm gonna have you soon in the one in Spanish, Las Casas de Oro. So thank you, Joe, and let's continue growing.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. So much fun. And yeah, I'm here for the next one, for the Spanish one.
Right there.
This one was a bit longer, no?
Maybe. Um,